and welcome back to my hip hop education. My name is Joshua Valentine. I will be your host this evening, and first, before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you for the reception of the first episode on To Pimp a Butterfly. 13 views is a lot for a small YouTuber like me. I've only been making content for about a week and a half now, so I really did appreciate the reception. Now, if you're new here, if you've never seen the show before, this is not a review show. This is not an album rating show. You see, this is my hip hop education. This is quite simply a deep dive into an album, into the lyrics, into the stories behind what's being told. And it's my attempt to not only A, get better as an editor, but B, learn more about hip hop as a culture and hip hop as a general joie de vivre. Now, on today's episode, we will be discussing Eminem's brand new album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. Now, I did grow up on Eminem. Relapse and the Marshall Mathers LP were in my house, in my mama's car while I grew up, and then I didn't really listen to much after that. Now, I have heard Houdini, which I liked because it was a single off this album. I did like that one. I liked the hook to it. I liked the references to that 80s song, Abracadabra. Um, but it didn't do a whole lot for me. Now, I do know all the words to The Real Slim Shady, and I do appreciate Slim Shady as a character in hip hop history. I, however, don't go back and listen to his stuff because just being pointlessly vitriolic is just not my lane. It's just not my lane. But we're gonna see if this new album holds any water. We're gonna see if this new album is any good. We're gonna see if this new project has some of the pointless vitriol, or if the man came back out of retirement to prove a point. We don't know. I don't know. You probably do. I don't know. So we're gonna start with the first song. It's called Renaissance. All right. So initial thoughts. He's back in his bag. He's got wordplay like a goddamn god. Um, Wordplay like an absolute god. Everything rhymed with everything. It was actually pretty insane. Through hell I went accelerate from lack of melanin, failing in school, smart, eloquent. Helped me to rebel against shit so well and bent so eloquently, yet I was irrelevant. As soon as I quit giving a fuck, I started to sell a bit. That's fucking insane. Um, I really liked the he's a very sympathetic rapper. I saw 50 Cent talking about, it might have been 50 Cent. I think it was 50 Cent. It was either 50 Cent or Ice Cube. One of the two men. I forget. But was talking about how the rap is a very percussive genre. How if you aren't using your voice as if it were a drum set, you're not really rapping. And I've always quite liked Eminem's flows because everything, it sounds like he's hitting a snare drum. It sounds like he's got a flow to it. Um, and I've always quite liked Eminem for that reason. Now, he's already back in his bag. He's already back talking about Shady's dangling a baby tangled in a blanket, strangling and hanging him over the railing by the ankles on some gangster shit. Child endangerment, dark brain arcane, but a Mark Twain in it. You aren't taming it. Sharp pain in the heart, aiming a bar chamber to carve names in it. Now, he's already back to talking shit. He's already back to being, you know, edgy on purpose. And maybe you need a little bit of that these days. Ain't normally what I go for, but I do appreciate its place in rap. It's how Eminem got big. It's how, you know what I mean. Now I saw M talking on Twitter that this is a concept album, The Death of Slim Shady. So I believe he's putting the character to rest. So I guess he's got to establish right up top, just in case you don't know who Slim Shady is, who Slim Shady is. And I think this was a good way to do it. It explained exactly intelligent hoodlum, arrested development, cellar dwellers and wise intelligence, the elementary. Through hell I went, accelerant from lack of melanin. He's already explaining who he is, how he got to this point, what makes him who he is. Uh, Great opener, great opener, short opener, great opener. Production wise, it's alright. It's alright. I ain't gonna dog it. I couldn't do it, so I ain't gonna dog it. Okay, so that was Habits, and I liked it. I liked a lot of the wordplay in it. It was a fun song. It sounded just like what you'd want Eminem to say in this era. He came after cancel culture. He came after this phenomena where young folk are trying to tell everybody how to talk, act, and be. He came after all the words he's told he can't say, like the R word. I'm not gonna say it. Um, says been calling bitches hoes since the kindergarten. This is Jimmy Carter. Now I'm kitty cornered, sitting in PC court with a shitty lawyer. Like damn. Now he's playing with the political correctness. In the second verse, right? He says he's just a kid from Detroit who knew how to destroy the booth and had a point to prove, and I'm missing. Venomous, still I poison youth. Sentences I'm penning are just a destroy or just a toy with you, which is a joy to do. Slim is just a lyricist here to voice his true sentiments. Now, I love, I love that he's looking at this idea of political correctness and he's saying, well, fuck you. In the first verse, he says, "This is my shit. I'm gonna spit it how I want to spit it. Whoever gets offended, suck a dick and fuck a critic." Now, I think that's really funny because I'm not a critic. I'm a hip hop enjoyer. I'm just here to enjoy and to learn what he's trying to say. I think it's very powerful in the chorus. He says, "You got an addiction, man. I know you can't get rid of me forever, cause you know that I'm prescription, man. Next time I'll be in your veins." That's a chorus that repeats throughout the entire song. Now, Eminem has struggled with addiction in his life. He's been sober for a little while now. I believe he's been sober for a little while now. At least he says he's been sober for a little while now. Um, I really did like the song because it's just him saying, "I'm still Slim Shady, very much Slim Shady. I'm gonna spit. I'm gonna say my shit however I want to say my shit, and you're just gonna have to get over it." Um, he, now interlude, Mr. Reality. I don't know if Mr. Reality is a character on this album or he's a rapper in his own right. Cause I looked him up and I couldn't find anybody. I found a TikTok for Mr. Reality 18. I highly doubt he's the rapper on Eminem's feature. I highly doubt it. So I think Mr. Reality is a character for this album, and he's supposed to speak sense. Look at you, what's the matter with you people? You're sad the people are mean? Well, I'm sorry, the world isn't one big liberal arts college campus. Fuck you, you're all pricks. That's just true. That's just true. There's this weird phenomenon where young folk in colleges are they're being taught things, good things, valuable things, but then they take these things that they're being taught and they try to purport the knowledge as if it's their own, and they try to purport the knowledge as if it makes them better than anybody else. And one thing that life teaches you is that you're not. And if you're not humble, you ain't gonna be shit to anybody anyway. So I like that he's coming after them for that. Here come the censors, look out like the Avengers, and they assemble like Prince and then turn a word like ginger into the N word. Now, I think that that's a really powerful idea because it's true. There's a lot of words that you're not allowed to say anymore. Like, I don't understand why you're not allowed to say rape. I don't. I don't get it. Because at that point, when you say R word, well, which one are you talking about? And Slim Shady brings this up. Wait a minute, which R word? Rape or retarded? Midget? He's just coming after people. He's just coming after people. And I like at the end the little homage. I'm just playing little people. You know I love you. That's a that's a reference to one of his songs. I'm just playing Diddy. You know I love you. Is it Diddy or Dre? The one who put out the. That's the time I admit they put out the hit that got Pac killed. I'm just kidding. You know I love you. I quite like this song. Now, I do this shit in jest and it's just messing up with your head. And if men want to wear lipstick and women's underwear, who cares? This shit is their business and bear witness. Beware, bitches. The Blair Witch is on you scared bitches. I'm surreptitious on square business. Just attack my therapist with a pair of scissors like Merry Christmas. Now, that's just classic Slim Shady right there. Attack my therapist with a pair of scissors like Merry Christmas? That's classic Eminem. He's back in his bag. He's going back to what made him famous, what made him popular in the first place, while also commenting on the current politics of the day. I think this is a really good line that he drew, where it's social commentary, but it's also him just spitting a good song. A lot of wordplay in this one as well. I do like Chappelle and Colin. They call him Shady misogynistic. While raising 3 daughters, 2 graduated from college with honors, summa cum laude. My sense of humor is probably twisted. It's painfully obvious that you got an addiction, man. And it goes into the chorus. I love that he brags about his daughters. I love that he brags about Haley. He's always bragged about Haley. I love that I don't think he's mentioned the name of his other 2 daughters, and that's not my business to look up. I love that he's bragging on his daughters because, of course, this album's going to get a lot of traction. It's going to get a lot of play because not only is it an Eminem album, it's his first one in a really, really, really long time. So the fact he's putting over his daughters like that, it made my heart really happy. Wait a minute, which R word? Would this rhyme be okay if South Park had did it? Would it make you less angry if Cartman spit it? That's just true, man. We'll forgive. It's this weird dichotomy, right? Where some things are okay. Like, okay, look at a comedian like Shane Gillis. Okay, Shane Gillis is able to get away with a lot more than a comedian like, say, Troy Bond would be able to get away with. And they're different lanes. Troy Bond can say the N word. Shane Gillis can make fun of people with Down syndrome. Everyone's got their own lane, and they're able to talk about different things because it's lived experience, right? Eminem says "fuck you." My lived experience is I hate you all, and I love that. I really truly do love that. Now we're gonna go into the next song here. It's called Trouble. It's 41 seconds long.
Dreaming, huh? When you gonna realize that we fucking need each other?
Okay. Okay, so Trouble, very short song. Uh, I think it's very good for the story, though. It's a concept album, and he's telling you a story here. Now he's back to the Slim Shady and Eminem, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type gimmick. It's been a gimmick in his music for a really, really, really long time. Uh, and where Slim Shady says the crazy shit and Eminem spits the hard shit. I love the line, "The fuck you trying to do? Get us canceled? Ayo!" He immediately comes after blind people, deaf people, crippled people, quadriplegic people with Christopher Reeve's look. Shady, Jesus, what the fuck? Here comes Marshall to try and clean this up. What's the matter, Marshall? I like this. This album is pretty alright so far. I'm enjoying it. It's he's building up. He in the context of the theater of the album, he's building up the story of Slim Shady taking back over control and speaking his shit and speaking his mind the way that he wants to. And I imagine at some point throughout the album, it will flip. Now, there is a confirmation here that he is talking about my generation. You gonna cancel me? Yeah, Gen Z me, bruh? He's talking about young people who continue to try to tell older people how to live, how to act, how to speak. You know what I mean? Like, knowledge is not owned by anybody. Okay? Concepts, perspectives, they're not owned by anybody. They're shared. And the fact that he ends his line with "when you gonna realize we fucking need each other" is truer than hell. You can't just cancel everybody you disagree with. You can't. Because at the end of the day, we do need each other. And if you're in a room where everybody's agreeing with you, it turns into a circle jerk really hard, really quickly. So I love that he's playing with the idea of cancellation because Eminem is far and away from being able to be canceled. He's just simply not able to be canceled. He's a legend in the game, and for all the right reasons. Um, I really enjoy that he's playing with my generation. He's fucking with us. Honestly, he's got a big old stick and he's fucking with my generation. He's kicking the hornet's nest, and I love it. I'm here for it. I really am, because Slim Shady has always fucked with everybody. So the fact that this new big bad generation is going to cancel everybody and they're going to deplatform people and all this just because they disagree with them, I love that he's here. Just fuck you. I'm gonna try my best to get us canceled. He's back in his bag. I said it earlier. Slim Shady is back, and that's fucking awesome. Alrighty, now this next song is called "Brand New Dance." Shit. Oops. Look up the lyrics here. Boop boop boop. Here we go.
Holy shit. Woke up with
Okay. Alrighty. Now, "Brand New Dance" had a really, really, really funky beat. Um, I really liked the beat. I really liked the production. I liked I like that he's talking about modern shit. He's relating to the children. Well, it's Friday night, no date for the prom. You just got caught jacking off by your mom. Suspended from school for setting off the alarm. Kim Jong keeps screaming he gonna drop the bomb. Now he's talking about real political news stories as well as trying to relate to young folks. So after telling all the young folk to go fuck off, he's also then telling them that he kind of gets it. Now, I don't like. I didn't like the chorus. Clap your hands and stomp your feet, everybody twirl together. Can you feel the funky beat? Everywhere you see people laughing and dancing in the street. On the count of three, everybody do the Christopher Reeves. 1, 2, 3, follow me. Now, everything but dragging a dead quadriplegic into it, I'm all right with. I don't believe in speaking ill of the dead. I don't think he was really speaking ill of him here, but he was definitely using Christopher Reeve's story. Christopher Reeves playing Superman in the 80s to then become paralyzed, I believe, by a horse riding accident, uh, living the rest of his life in a wheelchair until he passed away. Um, I don't, I don't like the idea of dragging him into really anything. I understand you're trying to make a point, at the bottom here, I'm on Genius, by the way, for the lyrics. On the bottom it says, the taunting track Brand New Dance revisits one of Eminem's longest running jokes aimed at Christopher Reeve, an actor who famously portrayed Superman throughout the 1980s and suffered an incident which left him wheelchair bound. Eminem comes up with a new dance named after Christopher Reeve, where the aim is to seriously harm and paralyze oneself by damaging the spinal cord. Ironically, this, Eminem's dance song, would render the listener unable to dance afterwards. Co-produced by Eminem himself, the funky beat is very reminiscent of his encore days in 2004. In fact, an early track list of the album showed a title called Christopher Reeves, which never went on to release. On a later track, Guilty Conscience 2, Eminem admitted to taking the song off as Reeve passed away shortly before Encore's release. Now, why Eminem decided to have the kind of grace not to drag a dead man into his music then, but doesn't now, I don't really understand. Maybe I'm missing something. I think it's been long enough that in his head it's okay to go back because Christopher Reeve is a frequent punchline for Eminem. But I did not like the idea of bringing him into it. Now the rest of it was fine. Now hot take coming in 3, 2, 1. This is the second time he's mentioned Caitlyn Jenner. Now in the last song here, Eminem referred to her as Bruce, which, look, I don't agree with dead naming people. I don't agree with. I agree that if a person tells you they want to be called this, you should call them that just out of respect because it doesn't mean anything to you, but it means everything to them. That being said, fuck Caitlyn Jenner. Fuck Caitlyn Jenner. You don't get to come out, be world famous, and transition and ask for all the support and all this stuff to this to then turn around and shit on the LGBT. You don't get to do that. So fuck Caitlyn Jenner. I'm glad that she got dragged twice now. Um, I really hope that he drags her again. I don't understand why she has fans. I really don't. You can't just use people like that. You know what I mean? Like she transitioned, and that's fine. That's great. I'm happy that she was able to, find peace in herself. But you don't then get to turn around and, well, I don't agree with gay marriage. Well, no, you don't get to have it both ways, fucker. You just simply don't. So fuck Caitlyn Jenner. That's the end of my hot take there. We'll go back to the album now. Um, I wasn't crazy about this song. The production very good. The funky beat very good. Lot of wordplay here. MGK said it best in Rap Devil. Sitting inside and reading a fucking dictionary all day has been what he's been doing for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years. He hasn't had to work in a really, really, really long time. He just makes music for fun. Because he's fucking Eminem. He does that. He's really good at this stuff. Um, I don't know. This is one I got mixed feelings about. I liked the production, didn't like the content, but I understand its place in the theater of the album. He's This is a Slim Shady song. This isn't an Eminem song, and I understand that. Uh, I just, again, you can't. The man's dead. Leave him lying. The man is dead. Just come on now. Come on now. All right. Now the next song is called Evil. Uh, so we gonna see what he has to say right after invoking the name of a dead man. Um, I want to see what he's got to say for himself. How evil is Slim Shady? Let's see. Okay. Now that song I did enjoy. I like the content, I like the beat, I like the production. I like the chorus. Evil, I'm so evil, rotten to the core, fucking twisted cerebral. I'm so evil, so evil. It's obvious I'm not like other people, cause I'm evil. I'm so evil. Rotten to the core, fucking twisted cerebral. I'm so evil, so evil. It's obvious that I'm not like other people. Um, he, yeah, okay. So I don't know if this is an Eminem song or if this is a Slim Shady song, but it could realistically be both. Had my share of lows, yeah. Now I'm the exact opposite. Just like a prostitute when she's getting smacked, pimp slaps. Only way I'm hitting my bottom, bitch. I was 5 when they tried to say I stuck a live grenade up inside a microwave. I behaved like a child. Hey, even when stakes are as high as the price of Angus I fillet. By the way, I think I just gave Skylar Grey hepatitis A. Ew. But when it's sink or swim, I just say it's not me, it's him. There's a demon who's deep within. All I need is MD or weed or Henny or Jim Beam or Remy or Seagram Shin just to get underneath your skin. I would like you to meet my twin. So I think this is an Eminem song, and he's talking about how the demon inside of him is Slim Shady, and he's the one who says all the fuck shit. But when it's sink or swim, I just say it's not me, it's him. The him being Slim Shady. Uh, and he's talking about how in the booth he's a human AK, and Slim Shady will come out of him, and he'll just say this fuck shit. He did in fact drag Caitlyn Jenner again. Whoop whoop. He also said he slapped Dre. He also said he might start a feud with Dre, which is just not the case. You know, Dre put him on. He's always had a lot of respect and love for Dr. Dre, but he's using Dre as a punchline there. Word to Red Man, I'm a meth head, bruh. Same. I've been sober now for 4 years, and I'm glad that I believe Eminem is clean off of drugs. Is Eminem sober? We probably never know. He's been sober since 2008. Previously shared that he had been addicted to Vicodin, Valium, and alcohol. My addiction didn't start in my early days, and I was coming up. Explaining a personal essay for XXL in 2022. My drug usage started at the beginning of that first album. Okay, so I'm proud to say that Eminem and I are both sober off of our former uh, fuck ass ways. Um, so I'm really glad that he's still doing his thing. Um, yeah, okay. So I did quite like this song. He's talking about how Slim Shady is this beast inside of him that's evil, and he comes out when he's in the booth, and he says all this fuck shit, and when shit hits the fan, it's not me, it's him. He's and how he feels evil about it, rotten to the core, fucking twisted, cerebral. You know, I think he acknowledges that while Slim Shady is this demon inside of him, he's still very much inside of him. And so at the end of the day, it is still himself. It's still Marshall Mathers saying all these fucking nasty things. And I think this is him kind of effacing himself. The first four songs were essentially big middle fingers to the culture, not hip hop culture, but to American culture, and how again young folk are running rampant with all their newfound fucking wisdom or whatever. And I really enjoy that he's kind of this is when the theater starts to change. He's established who Slim Shady is, and now he's talking about how he kind of regrets Slim Shady's existence in his life. Um, how Slim Shady makes him to something that he doesn't feel like he is. However, he also mentions that if Slim Shady hadn't been in him in the first place, he might not be where he is right now at all. Um, Mama, how do you like me now? Are you proud of me yet, Debbie? I done turned my whole life around, but I think I'm just like you now because I turned out so fucking evil. And then it rides into the chorus again. Debbie being his mom, Eminem having a lot of issues with his mother over the years over her drug usage. Now that he's sober, he's kind of calmed down on the crazy shit he used to say about his mama. But I think it's very, very fucking big for him to say that line. I done turned my whole life around, but now I think I'm just like you now because I turned out so fucking evil. He's he's effacing himself. He's looking to his vestige of his mother. All this heinous shit he said about his mother, deserved or undeserved, is not mine to say. Um, but he did say a bunch of fuck shit about her, and now he's talking about how he thinks he ended up just like her in the end because, well, he turned out so evil. I really liked this song. I like Eminem kind of is Eminem is at his best when he's coping with something in his life. I've always thought that Eminem is a fantastic storyteller. I've always thought that Eminem is a fantastic lyricist. I've always thought that Eminem is always at his best when he's telling you a story about something that's real. And I feel like this is kind of him at his best. Not saying the song is his best. I'm saying that this is Eminem coping with something big for him, telling you a story about why it's big for him and what he's been dealing with in his own head. Um, I think this was a really good song. I really quite enjoyed it. This album has been alright so far. Again, a lot of the pointless vitriol that he's been throwing, with a point, he's making a point, right? But the Slim Shady character and I never really banged with each other because the Slim Shady character is just not who I. If I okay, let me put it this way: if Slim Shady were to be personified as an older man in my life, I wouldn't listen to him. So the fact that his values are now on, platinum records, that's fine. It works for some people. It simply doesn't work for me. My medicine cabinet's big enough to fit a cabinet. Tablets, I spit like half of this capsule. It's traveling like a javelin through my abdomen. My stomach's unraveling. Might end up having some say some shit you feel fucked up for laughing at. Yeah. And I'm phenomenal at it. What? And the problematic. But if y'all fanatics, maybe I'm your habit. Okay. Now that's a good stanza right there. Because he's, my medicine cabinet's big enough to fit a cabinet, referring to drugs, tablets, it's bit like half this capsule, it's traveling like a javelin, how drugs will just rip through your system. Now he's equating himself to a drug. Might end up having some say some shit you feel fucked up for laughing at, which from what I can tell is kind of his whole appeal. Slim Shady says fucked up things on a sick beat in order to get a reaction out of you, in order to get some fucked up thought out of his head. Now, it's kind of like an exorcism. Every Slim Shady song, I feel, is kind of like an exorcism for Eminem. He's got these thoughts, he mentioned in an earlier song, he lies awake arguing with himself at night. Kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type style, with Slim Shady being one and himself being another. And I really like that he's making a mention that that is kind of his whole appeal, or at least was his whole appeal. I think his appeal now that he's older and he's a more he's he's become an expert of the craft. I feel like now it's wordplay, now it's that fast rap he does, now it's the lyrical content he's able to bring to an otherwise devoid market. I'm phenomenal at it, and that's problematic. But if y'all fanatics, maybe I'm your habit. I like that because look, when you're a drug user, and I can speak from experience here, when you're an active drug user, you will do anything to get your habit. You will do anything to get your own to get what you need, really. And I like that he's equating himself to the drug because there's a lot of people out here. Look at his Twitter replies. People are going crazy. Like, so his last couple album cycles were panned, right? I forget what they're called. I think Revival was the one with the American flag on the cover. Revival, Eminem. Yeah, Revival, critically panned album. Nobody I know liked it. I feel like the last time Slim Shady, or Eminem rather, was really, popping, that people really cared about one of his drops, was his feud with MGK, and now it's just because he deserved to get fucking annihilated out of the entire genre. Um, but I don't know, man. I like this album so far. I hope he kind of begins to stray away from and disavow the Slim Shady character. Now, it's called The Death of Slim Shady. It's a concept album. I can only assume that that's what's going to happen. Uh, so yeah, I feel like that's the story he's telling us. He's slowly and surely, he's making reference to how Slim Shady is this demon inside of him. How Slim Shady is this, I'm going to use the word cancer inside of him that not only got him where he wants to be, but kind of keeps him up at night. And he's trying to get away from Slim Shady as a vibe. And I think that's all right. I think I know where he's going with this. I think I know where he's going with this, and I think that that's quite interesting. Now, the next one is a skit, not a song. It's called All You Got. Okay, so I was right. I was 100% correct. So this skit rather, is Eminem and Slim Shady talking to each other. Eminem starts off, "Why are you doing this?" And then Slim comes back, "Cause you owe me, cause I gave you everything. And what did you do? You walked away from me. You're too fucking blind to see I was good for you. I made you. You were nothing till you found me. How many times you tried to kill me? I always come back. You can't outgrow me. You can't outthink me. I am all you got." Now, that's very, very much Eminem coping with and trying to exorcise the demon that is Slim Shady. But it's Slim Shady getting his lick back. It's Slim Shady saying, "Look, you are who you are because of me. You got where you are because of me. People like you because of me." So I really do like this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde angle that he's rocking with this album, where it's Eminem and Slim Shady as separate characters. Now I'm interested to see where Mr. Reality comes into play in this, because I do still believe he's a third character. We heard him in the first song. We haven't heard him since. And I hope that he comes back and kind of speak truth to the matter, because I feel like Marshall Mathers is a joint project between Eminem and Slim Shady. Marshall Mathers being the real person, of course. He some of his values are Eminem, and some of the values that Eminem stands for are, created, manufactured just to be, this icon in the industry. While Slim Shady is a complete manufacturing. He's a complete character. So clearly, there's truth uh, in both of those pseudonyms that do stem from Marshall Mathers and his own personal perversions. I'm very interested to see what Mr. Reality has to say. To be entirely honest, I liked this skit. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. 25 seconds long, and it provides so much context to the album. I'm really glad that Eminem said on Twitter, I don't call it X, I call it fucking Twitter, that this is a concept album. You need to listen to it all the way through in order to get told the story. Because we live in a shuffle society, and I'm really glad that he explained to people how to fully understand what it is that he was talking about. I like theater. I like musicals. This is hitting me like a musical. It's not a musical. It's clearly a rap album, but uh, yeah, it's got some theater to it. It's got some elements to it. It's got multiple characters already that have been established. It's got exposition. It's got a plot. It's currently in the rising action. I'm excited to see how this motherfucker climaxes. Now, the next song is called Lucifer. This is a real song. So we're going to see how it goes.
The coup de grace.
Okay. 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 So I did like that one. I did like that one. So this is another song kind of like Evil. He's kind of treading water with this one a little bit. I don't really think he added much to the story here. But he did have a lot of bars about what's been going on in his life, which, well, it's true. It's true. So he's talking about his ex Molly that he bludgeoned to death. Clearly, Molly is the drug. He bludgeoned it to death. Um, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know if this one. So Eminem is really good at these absurd bars. He's really good at just bringing out crazy ass concepts and not really following up on them. They're just bars for the sake of bars. And I think this is what it was. I do want to point out my shit is like taking Deborah Mathers at her word. Yeah, I'm that absurd. We had a spat then afterwards. Squash the beef like a hamburger patty, or should I say gigantic turkey? I put that shit to bed like Amber Heard at a mattress firm. Um, he also talks about Candace Owens. And Candace O, I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fact bitch forgot she was black back at her. Laugh at her like them crackers she's backing after her back is turned, in a cute MAGA hat with a brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Or say this MAGA dirtbag in his skirt just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Call her Grand Wizard, Clandis, or Grand Dragon. Or like the national anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. But I can't diss her because my plans are to get in her pants and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. And then he immediately launches into the Deborah Mathers. Taking Deborah Mathers at her word, yeah, I'm that absurd. We had a spat then afterwards. So, clearly, he's talking back. Now, Eminem will often dip into misogyny in order to answer criticism from women, which is what it is. I don't like Candace Owens. I'm not defending Candace Owens here. Uh, I just wanted to point out that it's kind of a frequent theme in his music. I also want to point out I put that shit to bed like Amber Heard at a mattress firm. Um, yo, uh, Johnny Depp, druggy, history of abuse. I don't think calling Amber Heard a slut is fair. I don't think that's fair at all. I do like he made reference to the fact that she shit in Johnny Depp's bed. I put that shit to bed like Amber Heard at a mattress firm. That's a fun reference, but I don't agree with calling her a slut. I don't think she deserves the hate that she got from that trial. I really, really, truly don't. Uh, when you reach these heights, freedom of speech dies. With every line that I recite, the NPC police try to throw me in jail with no bail like a peace prize. Now, that's been true for a long time. Whenever you get to be successful, when you have a platform that you built for yourself, you kind of have to paint by numbers in order to keep that platform because it's my generation mostly who will disavow people that they disagree with. This is just kind of him. I believe this is an Eminem song, not a Slim Shady song. This is Eminem talking about his issues with the current system, his issues with essentially like this is akin to Well, I actually don't know another diss track, but this is just him taking his detractors and then talking shit about them in a song with a bunch of bars. And I'm Lucifer, and Dre is the producer for the Antichrist, which flows right into the next song, which is called Antichrist. Again, the wordplay really good. This beat I wasn't super crazy about. Production's good. Production's good. I mean, Dre produced it. They lose it when Dre produced it as soon as he plays the music. It's lunacy. Treat the beat like a choice Shady chooses. Um, yeah, yeah. Talking about how he chews up beats, but it's also a choice. That's a good play on words there. Now all I see is dollar signs, losers. Bitch, I was in the trenches like them Columbine shooters. I was down bad, broke, and almost abandoned hope. Now my followers are like a satanic cult. Yeah, they listen to me like when Manson spoke. Yeah, that's true. Eminem, not only did he invent the term stands, he has quite a few of them himself. I personally am a big Eminem fan. Wouldn't personally call myself a stan. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with every choice he makes. Because I'm a real fucking human being, and I don't suffer from this celebrity worship that a lot of people do. Uh, I like that he finally brought up the coup de grace. So the album is called The Death of Slim Shady, and then parenthetically, it's called Coup de grace, which is French, I believe, for final blow. Coup de grace, meaning it's a French phrase. It means a death blow. Okay, a death blow or death shot administered to end the suffering of one mortally wounded. So he's finally brought in the coup de grace. The coup de grace is the final shot right between the eyes, also known as the kill shot. I googled it. He literally told me what the fuck it means. Dumbass I am. Listen to more Eminem, Joshua, and you'll be fine. I like the chorus. This must be a cold day in hell. Tell me what have we done? Take me out my misery. I bought heaven when it was up for sale, and now I need a refund. I don't know what he's talking about there, uh, but I like it. I like this chorus. I liked how it sounded. I like its placement on the album. Uh, I think I bought heaven when it was up for sale, and now I need a refund is just a cool bar. I don't know what it means truly. I like the pre-chorus too. But if this is what he'd do to his mom, imagine what he'd do to you. I'm a lunatic armed, and if it's you, I use the clip on for you to respond. It's ludicrous, ma. Look at what you to respond, Lucifer. Now again, he's demonizing his mother. Again, well, his mother deserves to be demonized from the stories that I've heard. I've seen 8 Mile, and his mother is a kind of one of the bad guys in his life. Um, I hope that he's made peace on a personal level, and this is just him keeping up because in the original Slim Shady era, Eminem's mom was huge in his lyrics, and it was huge for his story and his overall lore. So I hope that this is just him sticking with the lore, and I hope now in his older age he's found peace with it and made peace with his mama. Whether that peace be I don't talk to her anymore, or that peace is we're okay now, it's not really mine to dig. But I do hope he's found some sort of peace just for his own mental health. Um, I like that he shouted out Kendrick Lamar again. So in the first song, he mentioned a bunch of different rappers and how they all have haters that are akin to his haters. But I liked this bar here. So whether you friender or you are foe, far as bars go, even fucking R words know that as far as smoke with me, I don't think it'd be smart. So might as well go looking for smoke with Lamar, bro. Yeah, as we've learned in recent events, Kendrick Lamar, when he fucking hates you, he fucking hates you, and he will ruin you. Not like us. Chef's kiss. That shit was awesome. That shit was so good it made me a hip hop fan. Kendrick Lamar generally is so good he made me a hip hop fan, which is crazy because I grew up on Willie Nelson and Frank Sinatra. um, quite liked this song. Quite liked the production. I liked the beat. I liked the beat. It was alright. It was alright. Um, You get more perverse every time you record a verse, and it's like you came from 2000, stepped out of Portal cursing, hurling horrible slurs toward the world, and why can't you make fun of people behind their backs like a normal person? He ain't never been that way. He ain't never been that way. It's his whole skill. Now, going back to the skit from earlier, like, that's what made him so big, was that he's willing to just diss the fuck out of people. And he doesn't mince words, really. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't fuck around. He isn't fake. He's a real person. Um, yeah. Now I think this song was just a bunch of bars. I don't think it added much to the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not reading anything. He did. The coup de grace parenthetical he did mention through it, it implies it gives the implication kind of like Chekhov's gun, right? He's put in this concept now, and so it's got to pay off later. Uh, the coup de grace, the final shot, the kill shot will come later, and that's when I think he'll really make his primary point for the album. Um, you sleep on the flow, ho, you hear these strings climb, you reap what you sow, so first I must weave rhymes, so seamlessly that I'ma leave eyes in a state of disbelief, my genius is a trait, so the gap's in our genes, right? At least that's what it seems like, and I'm Lucifer, and Dre's the producer for the Antichrist. That's his final stanza here. Um, and it's true, he weaves rhymes seamlessly, he's one of the greatest of all time, like, everything I've seen about Eminem, anytime I've seen a rapper speak on Eminem's name, they always refer to him as the best. And in fact, 50 mentioned that that Eminem gets a lot of hate because he's simply better at this. This is black music, but Eminem is better at black music than a lot of black folk, and that's pretty fucking rad. You know what I mean? Like that's high praise for the man. Now I do agree. I think Eminem is one of the best of all time. Again, I'm not really in the hip hop world though, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I'm really enjoying this album so far. I like that he's he's giving us a gimmick. He's giving us a story, and that's what I really like in my music in general is stories. Now I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Um, the next song is called Antichrist, and it was referenced on his last song. Dre is the producer for the Antichrist. So let's see what Antichrist has to say.
Smoking.
Okay. So I liked Eminem's part. The feature at the end from Bizarre. Guess who's back straight out the gutter with a dirty rubber plus my homeless mother? Where Bruce Jenner at? I wanna fuck that hoe. Where's Megan Thee Stallion at? I wanna suck that toe. 20 years in, shit, I'm past addiction. I'm at CVS trying to find my past prescription. I don't I didn't like that. I did learn from Bizarre's lyric that Haley Jade has a podcast. That's cool. I didn't know Haley had a podcast. That's pretty rad, actually. I'm gonna have to listen to that. Put that on my Spotify. Um, Again, this is Marshall coming after Gen Z, coming after cancel culture, coming after the PC police, coming after the unnecessary censorship that happens when a lot of young folk get offended. I personally can disagree with somebody and leave them in a corner and move the fuck on about my business. A lot of young folk ain't like that. So this is Marshall essentially saying that he is who he is and he will be who he is despite what my generation has to say, but despite what anybody has to say. He says, I don't regret nothing that's about to be said, so fuck it, we can keep headbutting. Still a grade A prick, but the same way. Cobain put the gauge to his brain, I'm going out with a bang. Hey, dang Dre, look at what you made me do. Maybe you the one they should blame. They say they wish I wasn't so angry. Don't want to see me going off the deep end like yay, hey. Rather see me do like Kim Kardashian, they say, yeah, and find a way to get rid of all of this rage, hey. Um, he's the rage that Eminem has feels. So Eminem benefits. He doesn't benefit from it, but his work benefits from the fact that there's a lot of frustration uh, in being broke. There's a lot of frustration in being broke. And he spoke on this earlier in the album. He said one of the comments thrown his way is that he can't rap about the struggle no more, which is insane because he's from Detroit. And while he has millions of dollars now and he's a made man, life is still hard and you still struggle. And I don't, especially when you have addiction in your life, especially when you're struggling to take care of children, because taking care of children is one of the hardest jobs that there are because it's a complete and total guessing game. Now it seems he did all right with his kids. From what I can tell about Haley, she seems to have a good head on her shoulders, and according to him, two of them graduated summa cum laude. So clearly, he's done a good job where he was failed. But that anger colors his work and he wouldn't be the same guy without it. Again, he comes after the idea of pronouns, uh, and I quite like that he's just speaking his mind about it, because so many people are scared to because they want to virtue signal, they want to virtue signal that they're accepting and that they're tolerant and all these things, and those things are great until you start trying to make it other people's problems that your opinion boils down to I simply want to be liked. Uh, when you're trying to make it somebody else's fault that your entire outlook on life is dependent on others' opinions, you have a problem and you need to go to therapy. You should be able to have an opinion that is contrarian. Uh, you should be able to think for yourself, and if you cannot, if you rely on if you rely on Twitter to fucking tell you what to think, you're a fucking idiot. And I think it's funny that he's just coming after him. Got Gen Z, here they come now. About to unload rounds, pronouns. Got me like, whoa now. Homie, let's slow down. No need to get so wound, ready to throw down. If I mispronounce, whoops, oh wow. Got heterosexuals cramming them down our throats now. Like I'm getting snowplowed, my humor's too lowbrow. Yeah, so there's no doubt you're about to get grossed out. But fuck it. Somebody needs to come and hit the reset button. Back to 2003, because how did we get stuck in this woke BS? I'm trying to make it regress. Fuck them. And I don't regret nothing that's about to be said, so fuck it, we can keep headbutting. And then he goes into what I read a little bit earlier. Um, I like that he's just speaking his mind. Now, he's kind of showing his age here, because quite simply and objectively speaking, it's been 21 years. Technology has advanced to such a degree that the world is easier to live in now, easier to navigate. It's a lot more fun now with the internet, with computers and smartphones and all them things. So, but culturally speaking, to go back to 2003, well, I was 5 years old. So I'm not going to really speak to what the culture of 2003 was. Um, but I do appreciate that he is sick of the the modern way. I appreciate that he's sick to death of being told what he can and cannot say, because it's happened to him probably in particular more than anybody else in the industry, because the Slim Shady character is so edgy, because the Slim Shady character says so many objectively rotten things. So I do appreciate that he's kind of just sick of it all, and this is his essentially gigantic middle finger. Now he references a bunch of rappers here. 'Cause I can spit a bar like it's a cross between Nas and Giza, Small Biggie Smalls and RZA. So hard, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj will scissor. That made me laugh. You're still the press's wet dream. Too many head shrinks. My head thinks foul. I've said things when jesting. They should arrest me for my testes. Now, that's funny, because having the balls to come out and challenge an entire cultural wave like this, it does take a lot of balls. It does. It does. Yeah, so this is essentially him playing the heel. This is him essentially saying, you can tell me what I can and cannot say, and I will continue to tell you to go fuck yourself about it. Um, I like that he referenced the Will Smith smack. Very cultural, very poignant. Uh, I am a product of what I don't appeal to you. You was one of them children whose parents fed them every meal to you on a platter and silver spoon. I am a product of what Farina and powdered milk will do to your drive when them rappers like Jada bring out the will in you. 'Cause now my shit slaps harder than will'll do. Word to Gorilla Glue. I don't need sticky fingers to steal on you. Lyrical killer who punish you. Every syllable son in you. Your hides are tandem like bicycles built for two. Sticking a clip in the ooze that I've been itching to use, looking like Nicola Cruz. My trigger's happy, it's ticklish, true. Travis Bickle him too. We getting rude. I like the wordplay in that whole thing. I like the reference to not only Will and Jada, but I like the reference to the Gorilla Glue lady who Gorilla Glued her fucking, was it her eyebrows or a wig on? Gorilla Glue lady. Tessica Brown, what did she do? Oh, she glued her hair. Okay, so she glued a wig on, and I like that he's making fun of that. Because that lady was just dumb as hell. Why are you gonna use super glue on that? I like the idea of dancing with the devil. This bizarre person, his name is Bizarre. I'm not calling him Bizarre. Came in with the bridge. You want to dance with the devil? Dance with the devil. Dance with the devil. Um, and again, he's calling himself the Antichrist, so kind of akin to the devil. Bruce Jenner catches another stray. Good. Fuck her. Um, yeah, I quite like this song. I really did. He's so fucking good with the wordplay. Everything. It's very sympathetic. He plays his voice as if it were a percussion instrument. He plays, snare and tenor and bass, all at the same time. Tenor? Tenor isn't a drum, Joshua. But he plays snare and bass at the same time. Everything's got a very sympathetic rhythm to it. Um, and I love listening to Eminem stuff. He truly is a master of the craft. Marshall, he's the Antichrist. He will slice and dice men, women, and children. One more time, come on. His name is Marshall. He's the Antichrist. He will slice and dice whores, men, women, and children. And in the next verse, he drags skanks, sluts, whores, men, women, and children. With the same, he will slice and dice. Yeah, I like the song. Didn't care for Bizarre's feature. Just he just didn't add anything to it. Um, I don't know why. I don't know why on a concept album about his own alter ego and his own mental problems, he's got features. I don't understand. Bold choice of him, I think. The song bio is unreviewed. Let's see what this bio says. Eminem often uses his music to reflect on his persona and the public's perception of him. In this track, he refers to himself as Marshall and the Antichrist, highlighting his role as a provocateur in the music industry. The lyrics contain references to his past controversies and his combative relationship with critics and societal expectations. So that's always been big for him. He's always been told how to be, and he's always broken those molds. He's always broken all the rules. And here he is breaking the rules again, essentially telling Gen Z, my generation, to go and suck a dick about it because he is who he is going to be, and he always has been this person, and he always will be this person, and he's going to speak his shit regardless. Um, yeah, I respect Eminem as a human being. Whether or not I like this album is irrelevant to the fact that I respect his stances on the current political system and on the current societal expectations. That I just do. I just really do. Okay, now this next song is called Fuel, and it looks like it's got a verse from a guy called Jid. Hey, the N word makes its first appearance in a white man's album. You'll have to see it. Look at that. All right, let's listen to Fuel.
Smoking.
Okay, so I quite liked Jid's. I believe it's pronounced Jid. I liked his verse. I liked the wordplay. I liked what he had to say. I liked that he was, talking about, all the OGs around town was our age. Danger, sex, drugs, X, and R rated. Danger, sex, drugs, shit, be outrageous. Don't get the shit fucked up, my boy. You lucked up once and you doubled up. I dribbled and passed to the cup and triple double it. Get to the basket, get the cash and cuddle up. I liked the wordplay he was doing. I liked the flow. I liked the melodies of it all. I'm gonna have to listen to some more Jid on my own time. That being said, in the context of the album, in the context of the story being told, I don't understand what value he brought to the table. Because he didn't progress the story at all, nor did he add any more, you know, context to. It wasn't about Eminem at all. It was it's the death of Slim Shady, and there's a verse on it that has nothing to do at all with anything. Um, I do appreciate that he spent time with the minister though. Like that's good for you. I'm very very happy that you're near God. I don't know. He's talking about his friend. He's doing 4+8 without a court date. Talked the other day. He said he's doing okay. Okay, cool. I'm glad your friend's all right. Who fucking cares? I wasn't here for that. I don't know. I don't understand its inclusion. I don't understand why he's got features on this album at all. To be honest with you, I feel like if it was just M, Shady, and Mr. Reality, who hasn't made another appearance yet, he might just be some dude I don't know. But I really thought he was like a third character, to the show here. Um, so in this Eminem is talking about how he's been around for a couple decades now. He's liable to catch strays. From the day he met Dre, you're liable to catch strays from the second you press play. Um, he do not test him like he's an essay, because like when my homies out west, we can just say he misspells rapper with one single P, and then he says I'm an RAPER. Got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep. Then he shouts out Pac and Biggie, which he does in a lot of his music, and deservedly so. Those two men were awesome. Um, I don't know. He's talking about how he's got voices in his head that put words in his mouth like alphabet soup, which probably is the Shady character. Shady made it clear lots of times before that these cynical thoughts that are popping in his head out of nowhere isn't his fault and he can't stop it. His hit song "The Monster" is one of them. I'm just relaying what the voices in my head saying. Don't shoot the messenger. So that voice in his head has got to be where Slim Shady comes from. How it just kind of it shoots these crazy lines into his head, and that's fine. I got voices in my head too. Only I'm not a talented, successful rapper. I'm just crazy. um, yeah, this is just a lot of lot of lyrics, lot of great lyricism, a lot of wordplay here. King Kong had just called me kamikaze. I'm gun cocked to this. Woo, my bad. Nobody 16s are touching these motherfucking index fingers. Fucking the Nina, clutching the 9 millimeter, tucking the heat. Got the toaster like an English muffin. No, I mean toaster like you drink to something, but it's in a holster. I proceed to bust it, fuck around and get popped like a Helena Hutchins. Like I'm Alec Baldwin. What I mean is bucking you down, coup de grace, then right between the fucking shoot 'em all. I like that. So I believe Helena Hutchins is the lady. Okay, so Helena Hutchins is the cinematographer that Alec Baldwin shot. Rest in peace, that lady. But I liked this, right? He says right between the fucking, I shoot 'em all. So right between the fucking eyes. So he told us earlier that the kill shot, the coup de grace, is a shot between the fucking eyes, and then right here, right between the fucking, I shoot 'em all if you think you're fucking with me. Um, and I just liked that little beat there. The chorus here is really nice. If I run out of fuel, I won't. What the fuck y'all gonna do if I don't run out of fuel? Down, 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 down. That scares the fuck out of you. Um, I really do like that because it's true. Like if Eminem were to ever run out of lyrics and new bars, if ever run out of new, motivations, if ever to run out, the PC police would attempt in vain, I believe, to eat him alive. Also, they wouldn't have anything to talk about because, for what it's worth, a lot of those a lot of them PC police, they thrive on engagement. They thrive on impressions. They're saying all this stuff to virtue signal so as to get attention. So if Eminem were to stop making music for them to bitch about, they would lose that attention. Um, and I really like that he called them out on that. I really do. Uh, this album is all right. I really like it so far. It's just Eminem kind of taking everything down. Uh, Everything he's told, he's saying fuck you. Um, so the next song is called Road Rage. It's track 10. After this, we have one, two, three. I can count 9. So we're gonna take a break after this one. I'm gonna go play with some dogs for a minute. Uh, okay, Road Rage. Here we go.
This rap shit.
Alrighty. So Road Rage is Eminem essentially saying take accountability for your own actions. He essentially he's saying you gotta own who you are in order to be anybody in this world. So he's coming out and he's coming after obese folks. Um, and saying that we can talk about diabetes instead of dieting, instead of exercise. It's easy to find a triple exercise and try to press society to change so you don't have to change. Pick up a way to eat less, and fries make your blood pressure rise. As it starts increasing, all that starch and grease and clogged arteries, and these are the reasons for your heart disease. And can't tie your shoes because it's too hard to reach them. But the way things been with today's thinking, we should baby them instead of shaming them. But enabling can do more harm than good. So call me Abe Lincoln, because I'll be honest, I can flip in a blink, and all I need is one little road rage reason. Yeah, blah blah blah. I'm the god of facade. Give me a road rage reason to black the fuck out and roll with the heathens. Road rage, vroom vroom vroom, and I'm speeding. Fuck that red light. I'm trying to get even. So the red light is people telling him to stop being who he is and to stop speaking his truth and to stop telling people to take accountability and to be their own people. Um, I have a feeling that Eminem really, really hates groupthink, and sadly, groupthink is kind of dominating our society right now. People are so scared to stand out, which is crazy. But they're so scared to stand out that they're just gonna go along with. A lot of folk are just gonna go along with what they're being told to say, what they're being told to do. So they're gonna baby people who are obese, despite all the many, many, many health risks, despite all the many, many, many reasons not to be obese. Despite the fact that being healthy is better for you than being unhealthy, we're supposed to baby them. And he's coming after again today's thinking. He's coming after this idea that you can just you're supposed to just accept everything and be super super passe about everything. You're not allowed to have your own opinions. And a guy like Eminem has always been very good at expressing his opinions and doing so in a way that's fun to listen to. So I like the idea that he's essentially saying like, no, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, fuck you and your new age thinking. Um, yeah, again, proving that for all his many detractors saying the opposite, he does stand with the LGBT. He does appreciate and he does believe that You should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to be yourself. You should be able to love who you want to love. You should be able to be transgender. And he proves it here. So transgender rights, where do I stand? Oh, I'm all for them, really. I am pro. But intercourse with you, would I have? No. I'm just being honest, but now I'm an asshole. Call me a transphobe, 'cause I just can't go. And try and pretend you was never a man, though. I mean, damn, bro. It's just the way I feel. But if I say it, it will get me cancelled. My music get banned, or can it withstand? The shit is quicksand. Man, I'm just saying. I gotta participate for us to coexist? Damn. I gotta memorize pronouns of a cis man? How come can't we just show our solidarity with a wristband? And this ain't even a dish, trans people. My dick just won't expand. Them tits won't make it stand. But Caitlyn, big fan. No, wait. So, fuck Caitlyn Jenner. I really like that he said that in jest. He said that sarcastically. Um, yeah. Again, very sarcastically. Now, this is true. There's a weird phenomenon now where you need to be able to think the same way in order to be friends with somebody, and that's just not the case. Now, I've personally unfriended people in real life for saying things like the N word. Um, with a hard R. I just don't like that kind of stuff. But that's not really the same thing I'm talking about here. Dipping into hate speech just for a laugh is not funny and is not cool. But also, telling people that they can only be near you if they think the exact same way also isn't fucking cool. It's fucking lame. It's corny. It's myopic. It shows me that you have a really little teeny tiny brain, because the whole point of life is to get different perspectives and to get different cultures and different appreciations, because nobody knows everything. No one person knows everything. So you need to accept all perspectives in order to really understand. Well, not all perspectives. You don't need to understand. You don't need the perspective of like a Klansman or a terrorist maybe, but most perspectives you are have value. Most perspectives you can take something from. You know what I mean? Because most people speak from experience. So when you're accepting of their experiences, you're able to learn more about the life we share, because it isn't yours. We fucking share this thing called life. We need each other. He said it earlier. I said it last video or last episode of this. We do need each other. Um, yeah, I gotta participate for us to coexist. Damn. If that ain't some true shit, it's groupthink. It kind of Emperor's New Clothes style fear of exclusion. It's their people are stuck in this idea that they gotta play along in order to be valid, and that's not how life works. It's just not. Um, Now he's saying, "Oh, you want me to fucking chill and tone this shit down, huh? That Shady speaking his mind like it was his mouth, huh? You wish he'd grow up and not be so juvenile, huh? Cash Money Record, the shit's about to go south, huh? You feeling stupid now? Old Slim would have told him to put a lid on it like a toilet bowl rim hat with the low brim. I'm in the blue corner, white trunks with the gold trim. They bet that I won't win. Guess he really showed them. Became the best, and I made it like Adult Swim. Yeah, but you pick on handicapped people with no limbs. Well then, fuck you, Chris Reeves and the horse that he rode in." So again, don't like the invocation of Christopher Reeves, but he made his point, so I'll let him have that one. Um, he's talking about how he won't chill the fuck out. It's, people are, oh, you want me to fucking, he's mocking people. You want me to tone this shit down? The Shady speaking his mind, like it was his mouth, huh? Uh, and he's essentially just saying, like, look, I have these thoughts, and I put these thoughts on a beat, and people really, really, really do like him. But it's social commentary is what it is, and that's when hip hop's at its best, in my opinion. Is he's commenting on the failings of our current society. He's talking about how society as a whole is kind of failing the whole critical thinking aspect of life. We're kind of just going along. It's almost as if people are allergic to feeling bad now, as if the whole idea that you get to go through life without taking a single L, without being made to feel uncomfortable, without being made to feel challenged, without being made to feel, like on your back foot, is fucking stupid. Nobody has ever gotten through life perfectly comfortable the whole time. You're supposed to be uncomfortable with certain things. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, art is supposed to invoke feelings in you. It's supposed to make you feel things. So if you're just canceling art that makes you feel things, like, you're a fucking idiot. You missed the whole point. Um, Sorry. That was kind of a rant there. But I like this album. I like what he's saying. I really do. He's just, it's free thought is what it is. It's a man who's had enough, and he's just trying to do what he knows, what he thinks is right, and he's commenting on how society is failing people who think like him, and it's failing people who refuse to play along. Like earlier in the album, there was the line, "Why don't you just talk shit about people behind their backs like a normal person?" And he brought it up sarcastically because that's not who he is. It's not how he wants to be, and it's very much how the shit works now. Like that's just supposed to be the implication is, well, you put out these PC statements and you paint by numbers so as not to offend anybody, but then behind closed doors you can take the gloves off. Like that I'm Alex situation. I'm sorry to bring up, YouTube drama in what's supposed to be a a hip hop review, but here's this man. His name is Alex, right? He's a YouTuber, was a fucking YouTuber. He's not a YouTuber anymore. Now he made like 4 videos um coming out as bisexual despite the fact that he's fucking not bisexual in order to sell LGBT merch to people who are LGBTQ. He did the whole PC police thing. He painted by numbers, and behind closed doors, he threatened to bash his girlfriend's head in with a brick and fucking called her the N-word with a hard R. So, fuck I'm Alex, but also it kind of speaks to what it is that I'm talking about. You're expected to paint by numbers so as not to offend anybody and appease advertisers and appease Twitter and get impressions and play to the algorithm. But behind closed doors, people are just as degenerate and scummy as they always have been. But since they don't have a place to speak their truth and to honestly talk about these things that bother them, to where they can maybe find some peace or some restitution or some resolution, maybe, they're just supposed to hide it all, and it blows up in people's face. That's why I feel like we have people coming out and getting canceled more now than we ever have been before. Not only because cancellation didn't exist 15 years ago, it's also we have more people getting canceled, more YouTubers getting into drama because they're told to paint by numbers, and then eventually your real personality creeps on out. Like I think one of the biggest, you know, flexes that you can have in today's society is just simply being true to yourself and speaking your own truth. And Eminem has that, and he always has had that. He kind of is the poster child of that thinking, and I love him for it, honestly. Fuck I'm Alex, by the way. Gorilla Glue Lady, you're alright with me, but this album, it's speaking to me right now. It's social commentary. Yeah, it's him just trying to come out and make comments and kind of tear down all these groupthinky like ideas, all this kind of sheeple esque ideas. And I like it a lot. Now we're gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Ha ha. Alrighty, I'm back from my quick break, and I just want to say one more time, fuck you, I'm Alex. You're a piece of shit. Alright. Now the next song on the album is the single Houdini. Now I have heard this before. This song is in Fortnite actually. So if that means anything to you. Um, I quite liked this song upon my first listen. I'm excited to see what the lyrics mean in the context of the album because this album is a story, as we've mentioned a couple times already. So I'm excited to see. Top comment. The song sounds better in order. No cap. Let's see how it goes.
It's Paul.
So, Houdini as a song means a lot more in the context of the album. It got released as the single, rightfully so. I really like the production on that track. I really like the reference to that old Abracadabra song. Um, yeah. Now I really did like it. Now I like the idea that he just shows up, drops hot fire, and then just dips. Uh, the chorus abracadabra, and for my last trick, I'm about to reach in my bag, bruh. Abracadabra, and for my last trick, poof, and just like that, and I'm back, bruh. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Um, the bridge. Sometimes I wonder what the old me'd say. If he could see the way shit is today, he'd probably say that everything is gay. What's my name? What's my name? So how many little kids still want to act like me? I'm a bigger prick than cacti bee, and that's why these words sing, just like you were being attacked by bees. In the coop, leaning back my seat, bumping R. Kelly's favorite group, the Black Guy Peas. In my Air Max 90s, white tees walking parental advisory. My transgender cat Siamese identifies as black but acts Chinese like a motherfucking hacky sack. I treat the whole world 'cause I got it at my feet. How can I explain it to you? That even myself I'm a danger to. I hop on tracks like a kangaroo and say a few things to anger you. But fuck that. If I think of the shit, I'ma say that shit. Cancel me what? Okay, that's it. Go ahead, Paul, quit, snake ass prick. You male cross dresser, fake ass bitch. And I'll probably get shit for that, but you can all suck my dick. In fact, fuck them, fuck Dre, fuck Jimmy, fuck me, fuck you, fuck my own kids, they're brats. Fuck them. They can screw off too. Them and you all, you too. Paul got two balls, big ass RuPaul's. What you thought you saw ain't what you saw. Kids are never gonna see me. Caught sleeping and see the kid napping, never did thing happen. Like Sherry Papini, Harry Houdini, I vanish into the air as I'm leaving. Like Abra, Abracadabra, I'm about to reach in my bag, bro. So I think here he really shows that despite all the comments he's made about transgender folk, he's not transphobic because it takes a real big man to be able to look at another man and say my balls are as big as his. Now, RuPaul of RuPaul's Drag Race is an absolute legend. I like RuPaul a lot. I think that he's a good influence to folk, despite what the right says about transgender trying to speak to kids. I don't know. Okay. Let me put it this way: drag queens have statistically and substantially less sexual assault cases against minors than Christian preachers do. So I think the whole talking point that transgender folk are bad for kids is fucking stupid. It's just fucking straight up stupid. Now I like RuPaul. I think RuPaul is bold, is a very much their own person, and I respect that a lot. This song in the context of the album is awesome because this is a Slim Shady song. This is Shady coming up and saying, "Look, abracadabra, I can just sit here and I can piss you off and then I can dip just like that. And I don't think anything of it, but you fucking do." It's essentially him saying, "I live in your head rent free, and whether you like me or you don't like me, I'm good at this shit. I'm better than you at this shit." Um, yeah, and it is what it is. This is a bit of a victory lap for Eminem. After he's made a couple of his points and he spoke a little bit of shit, this is him saying, uh, you know, "Look, I'm me. I'm gonna drop my shit, I'm gonna say my shit, and then I'm gonna dip again. I'm gonna make my money and leave, and there's nothing you can do about it." It's a victory lap for him, and I really do quite like that for him. You like to see a sober man survive and thrive. Now, the skit at the beginning made me laugh. "Hey, Em, it's Paul. I was listening to the album. Good fucking luck. You're on your own." So, the critiques that are lobbied his way aren't just from. Hold on. Hello, I'm back. I'm very sorry for the interruption. A dog fight broke out. I got 8 dogs, and sometimes they fight, so I had to go take care of that real quick. Now, I don't remember what point I was making before the dogs got all cagey, but I would like to say, closing notes on Houdini, this is a victory lap for the Slim Shady character. This is him kind of telling the world, "I'm going to show up, say my shit, and dip out, and there's nothing you can do about it." I feel like I already said that, but it's a victory lap for the Slim Shady character. I quite enjoyed the song. In the context, I enjoyed it a whole lot more. So we're going to go on to the next one because I don't remember what I was saying. The next one is a skit called Breaking News. So, in the skit Breaking News, he's essentially making the comment that nobody can cancel him, so he's making an album to cancel himself and talking about how the news cycle will take it, and there are protesters outside the door protesting his existence in the music industry and this whole new album. That apparently he's already effacing himself for saying insensitive things about um, little people, and I just wanna say that I quite like the fuck, I can't type, nothing good. Okay, I quite like the skit. It kind of paints the picture that he's trying to cancel himself because this new cancel culture can't get to him because he is untouchable. The next song is called Guilty Conscience 2. Here we go. Alright, so Guilty Conscience 2, I really liked this song. Now, earlier in this video, I talked about how I didn't like him bringing up Christopher Reeve. He answered it here. He heard my criticism, and he included in the album that he didn't like it either. So this is a rap battle between Eminem and Slim Shady. It's the two characters confronting each other. It's Slim Shady saying, "I made you. Well, we did it now. I know, right? It's beautiful, ain't it? Yeah, you happy now, bitch? Yep. Alright, you got what you wanted. Yeah, what? Let me go. Haha. Never." So it's a rap battle. It's Eminem talking about how he was a nerd to the core, read comic books in order to learn more words. He doing all this stuff. just trying to be good, and then some Shady comes along and he exemplifies all the bad thoughts that he has and all these terrible criticisms that he's levied against all these different societal expectations and all these different groups of people in society. And it's Eminem kind of sticking up for him, saying like you said all this nasty shit about Christopher Reeves, to put on Christopher Reeves. You're still mentally 13. You're talking about little people and all. He's essentially saying that the shit that Slim Shady says is embarrassing, like David Carradine found a pair of jeans at his ankles and belt around his larynx. It's embarrassing. Um, and he's talking about how he's embarrassed by the stuff that Slim Shady used to say, and how this new, older, more mature, more conscious Marshall is is very much upset with the things that come out of Slim Shady's mouth. He said, "God, you piece of shit that does it. Yeah, bitch, this is for him. Christopher, Reeve, MGK, Nick, and for Limp Bizkit and them, Midgets and Ben, Zeno, in addition to him, Will Smith, and to Cannabis, if you're listening, this is the end. So to Jamar and Ja Rule, and to all my feuds, including Ma, I'm welcoming you to my last hurrah. I bid you goodbye. Murder, suicide, kill shot, boyaka, cocksucker, coup de grace, motherfucker." So this is the beginning of the end. This is the declining action. I guess we climaxed with Houdini, and now this is the confrontation, if you will. If you've ever seen Les Miserables, this is the confrontation between Javert and Jean Valjean. This is kind of the battle we've been leading up to this entire time. It's Eminem looking at this demon inside of his head, and he gave him a name, gave him a face, and he validated him. And then the demon ran wild and said all this stuff that he isn't totally all about. Now he profited off of him, and he wrote all the words, so I can't really speak to whether or not he regrets it or not. But in this song, he's talking about how he doesn't want to be that guy anymore. And then some Shady's calling him a pussy, and he's Dre and Jimmy's puppet. I don't know who Jimmy is, but he's Dre's puppet. And then at the end, Eminem has his little skit where he wakes up and says the entire rising action, the entire exposition of the first half of the album was all a dream. And how he says, "You're not gonna fucking believe this, bro. I had this dream. It was fucking crazy. It was like the old me came back and the new me and took over my brain and had me saying all this fucked up shit about little people and Caitlyn Jenner and PC police were chasing me and fucking Gen Z was trying to kill me and quadriplegics and Christopher Reeve and I was saying all this fucked up shit and I couldn't stop saying it. And then I wake up and it was like I was still dreaming. Fuck you. Wait. Haha." So very clearly, this is kind of the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. This is Slim Shady kind of being confronted by Eminem for the first time publicly. It's Eminem talking about how Slim Shady, he doesn't really bang with that energy anymore. And I really think that was a great song. Guilty Conscience 2. I guess Guilty Conscience was on another project of his. Um, Guilty Conscience 2 is a sequel to Eminem's popular 1999 track Guilty Conscience. The original track focuses on Slim Shady influencing different people to do morally wrong things, while Dr. Dre attempts to do the opposite, making them do better actions. On the other hand, the sequel is written as a conversation as an argument between Eminem and his alter ego Slim Shady. So I guess Eminem has taken on the Dr. Dre role, and now that he's more conscious and he's more mature and he's not on drugs anymore, he's trying to do good things. He's trying to do more positive things, and Slim Shady keeps dragging it back to this kind of hateful, vitriolic, anger-fueled creature that he used to be. And I really like the dichotomy here. I'm a sucker for a good confrontation. In general, again, I fucking love Les Mis. I sing the confrontation myself all the time. So yeah, I really like that song. I liked this is the beginning of the end. This is the declining action. We've climaxed with Houdini, and I guess the breaking news skit. That's kind of the turning point. And now here we are. We're moving toward the death of Slim Shady, the exorcism of this demon. The next song is called Head Honcho by Eminem and a guy called Easy Mill. So yeah, here we go.
My best, just to not blow.
Screaming. Alrighty. So Easy Mill impressed me with his. I've never heard Easy Mill before. I liked it. Now I have spoken to. I don't know why there are features on this album, and I still don't. They don't really like. None of the features have really worked with the story or anything. But I haven't heard of a single one of the rappers who are features on this album. So it's nice that he's putting on people who are in a lesser position than he is. Again, Easy Mill might be somebody big. Bizarre might be somebody big. I don't know. I'm new to this whole scene. So if I'm wrong, forgive me. But I do like that he's putting on. They're not Eminem, so they are objectively lesser than he is, and I like that he's putting them on, especially since he knew that this album was going to get so much attention because slipping back into the Slim Shady uh, character means a lot for older folk because they kind of grew up with Slim Shady. Now he's talking about how we've seen where is it? You don't relate to me. Guess you've never been angry or sad, and maybe just never had to face any adversity. Take any ass whipping I basically had. To see some shit that'd make you faint like you're faking a jab. Bitch, you wish you had a life like mine. You just fantasize the shit you write, you guys like lying. Everything you ever been through multiplied by 9. Ain't even half the shit I went through by the time I was 5. So my uncle gets stabbed, took a knife right in the abs, and all he was trying to do was get my tricycle back. Yeah, the one that Boogie, Malcolm, and Isaac just jacked after they jumped me and stomped me and hit me twice with a bat. So he's talking about how he went through all this terrible shit when he was young, and it kind of shaped him into this terrible side. You saw my terrible side, the blonde hair and blue eyes, and the writings on the wall like graffiti still. If you're having trouble reading, we'll make it simple. He's Ezekiel. Easy name to remember. Why? Because his rap name is the same as like 10 minutes on stages for me. Easy Mill. Or should I say Measly Mill? So I like that he's shouting out the feature. You know, for Eminem, he kind of worked it into a bar here. Um, Talking about how he got forced into being Slim Shady. That anger that was instilled in him at a very young age kind of forced all this kind of this demon into him, and he's had a really hard time exercising it. And how, um, yeah, because as sure as his ma used to feed me, sleeping pills to keep me, sleepy still it was creepy, because indeed she could have easily Casey Anthony'd me. Now I don't really, is that a Casey? I've heard the name, I don't really get the reference. With American Toddler. Oh, Casey Anthony was a toddler. Okay, must have gotten abused. Okay, so it must have been an abused child. I'm not going to dig too much further into that reference there because I think I got the point. Um, Actually, I will. Hold on. Not seen the child for 31 days. Falsely told the dispatcher that Kayla had been kidnapped by a nanny. Casey was charged with first-degree murder and pleaded not guilty. Casey was an American toddler, maternal grandparents. Um. Oh. Okay, so Casey Anthony killed her toddler, Kaylee Anthony. And, okay, then reported her missing. So he's saying that indeed his mama could have killed him and left him out in the woods and nobody would have cared. Okay, now Jalen Walker. Eminem compares the public outrage against him to that of the 8 Akron, Ohio police officers involved in the fatal shooting of Jalen Walker. After an internal investigation, the department determined that their use of force was in compliance. Of course they fucking did. We need to eliminate qualified immunity. Fuck all of that. Okay, so this is Eminem essentially saying that the anger and the vitriol that he feels and that he expresses in his music was kind of beaten into him at a very young age, saying that a lot of the people in the game right now who are talking about how these hard lives that they've led, they don't match up to his, and they won't times 9. Um, yeah, so he got abused and taken advantage of, and he had a really hard time kind of coping and growing up. And so it kind of forced this Slim Shady character into him. This character is a part of him, and it's kind of I think he's kind of making he's not making an excuse. He's explaining why he is Slim Shady or why he was Slim Shady for so long. Um, but you taming me ain't gonna happen, and I'll live on planet denial for the rest of my life. But you'll be a stand till I die, though. You'll be a stand till I die, though. So he's explaining why he's Slim Shady, why he has been Slim Shady, but then he's also, he's still him. He's he's still his own creature. He's gonna do his own thing. He's gonna say his own shit, and essentially you're gonna be a fan of his or you're not. Um, but either way, you're gonna have an opinion of him, and I think that's pretty cool. I'm the head honcho. Money come from my flow. Quejo Bole Blanco, then get the bread pronto. Yeah, I'm the head honcho. They call me the boss, though. You can call me Marshall, then get the bread pronto. So, talking essentially about how, despite whatever you think about him, this demon that was beat into him and forced into him made him successful. This demon kind of turned him into a legend of the game, and he wouldn't take it back for anything. He just wishes that he didn't have this demon at all. Because I feel like he'd still be making music if not for Slim Shady and those voices in his head that he continues to mention. But he probably wouldn't be the Eminem we all know and love today. Well, I love him. I don't know about you. This is song 15. It's called Temporary. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs left. Well, 4 songs and a skit left. This is called Temporary. Here we go. So I'm a grown man with my own shit, but that song was beautiful. I literally cried in the middle of that. Now there were callbacks to Mockingbird, which is one of my favorite Eminem songs in general, but that was that was deep. That was deep. That's a mature Eminem coping with the fact that he won't ever always be here for the one that he did all this for. And I'm about to cry again. Um, Having kids is one of the most important things a man could ever possibly do. And being there to raise a child is one of the most gratifying things a person can go through. Now, I ain't been there quite yet. I'll be there one day, but I'm very looking forward to that day. This was a beautiful song. This was a beautiful fucking song. Um, I didn't expect to get hit in the fucking teeth like this, but this was that was gorgeous, and that's really all I have to say. It made me cry. Eminem just made me cry. Um, okay. So the next song is called Bad One. Um, okay. Okay. So now that I've recovered emotionally from from the last song, Bad One is very much Eminem saying that he still is who he is. Sure, he dealt with Shady, and he used it as a bit of a cop out. He says, um, so when they get mad or angry at a statement that I may have said, I just say, man, I didn't say that shit Shady did. Because all I do is write the rhymes and wait for that beat to play, spit 'em, trigger finger, make like a green beret, like he would get a submachine to spray with 'em. I should go back to the sleeping aids because I'm so stuck in my evil ways. So he's talking about how he uses the Shady thing as a cop out. And he wants to put that to bed because he wants to be truer to himself. He wants to be true to his own shit. He has a bad attitude. He has every reason to have a bad attitude. The world kind of chewed him up, and even though he's found success, he he still he gets chewed up. He still gets hypocrisy thrown his way. He still gets criticism thrown his way, undue criticism, unjust criticism. Um, yeah. So this is very much kind of him talking about how while some Shady might be gone, he's still gonna be himself, and he's still gonna speak his own shit. And talking about how he's got a bad attitude, but that bad attitude got him a couple diamond plaques. Um, so yeah, this is quite a simple song, quite a good song. I really enjoyed the production on it. Um, I liked White Gold. White Gold was pretty cool. I liked his verse. Um, yeah, this is pretty simple in concept. Again, brings up Candace Owens, who must have said something. What did Candace Owens have to say? Candace Owens on Eminem. Apparently, he dropped two diss tracks. Plus, time to talk about the Nick Fuentes fallacy being used by. Okay, who the fuck cares? Um, yeah, Candace Owens fires back at Eminem over diss track. So apparently, okay, Eminem dropped a diss track about Candace Owens. Okay, and then brought her up a couple times. Okay, so quite a simple song, quite a good song. I really enjoyed that. Talks about how this whole subgenre with all these corny white rappers he's not a fan of, but it's his fault because like Sock Puppets, he had a hand in it. I'm a Chris Webby fan. I don't know if he counts, but this is probably a reference to rappers like Tom McDonald, who Eminem cringed when he listened to his song Dear Slim, according to Mac Lethal, and turned it off after 30 seconds. That's fucking awesome. Fuck you, Tom McDonald. I hated that song too. That song was weird as fuck. Yeah, okay. Quite a simple song. Quite enjoyed that one though. I liked it. I liked it a lot. We're gonna move on to the next song, which is called Toby. Okay. Okay. So I liked that song. It was really good. I liked Toby. I'll probably listen to that one again. It was the second single off of this album. He was joined by Baby Tron, who I haven't heard of, and Big Sean, who I have heard of. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think this whole song is really just bars. It's a good song. It's a well produced song. Um, but I think in Eminem's verse, he essentially every dream that I ever dreamt, I exceeded, cement my legacy. I definitely did controversy. I always fed on. I need it. Treat it like a truck. Hit it head on. I meet it. I got on a beat, and it's like that Eye of the Tiger song is playing on my head on repeat. I've been knocked down so many times, can't count. Um, I really feel like this whole album or this whole song really exists to provide this one line, which is way beyond crazy, Shady gone, but hey, maybe I am the goat. That bit Sean and Baby Tron, and that's why they be on the shit that they be on, because Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider, but see, me, it was a goat. Um, yeah, a lot of references in this one, a lot of wordplay. I really quite liked this song. Um, but I feel like it doesn't add much to the story, which is fine. It's a good song. It's a lot of good bars. But I feel like it really just exists to say that look, Shady might be gone, but I am still the goat. I am still Eminem. I am still Marshall Mathers, and I'm still better at this shit than 99% of people. Earlier on in the album, he mentioned that he sees people with 1/10 of the talent that he has get so much praise, while as he's expected to reinvent the wheel every time he drops an album. And I think that really speaks to his mastery of the craft. People have so many higher expectations for Eminem that he struggles to meet, and so he had to come out and readopt this Slim Shady character and eventually put him down because he didn't want to be him anymore. And I think that that's really, really cool. I really like this concept album. Like, we're on the last skit now and the last song, and I really like this album. I like what he had to say. I liked the story he told, and I'm excited to see the finale here with the last skit and the last song. This song didn't do a whole lot for me. We'll probably listen to it again because just of some of the bars out of the Star Wars references, Spider-Man references. Um, but yeah, it was a good song. I enjoyed this one a lot. All right, guess who's back to skit, and then we'll do Somebody Save Me, and that'll be the video. So guess who's back to the skit is a return of the character Ken Kniff. He had to show up eventually, I suppose, but yeah, it's Ken coming back and looking around for everybody. References D12, says he has half a bag of Viagra. He's gonna reach around and grab you, bruh. Um, yeah, it doesn't add much to the story, but it kind of brings back this Ken character, which showed up on the Eminem show. He was originally played by, well, the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem show, and then on the Slim Shady EP, was played by Aristotle, and then M took over the character. This is a callback to the Curtains Closed skit, which serves as the outro to 2002's The Eminem Show. I haven't heard that album all the way through, don't really get the reference, but this was fan service, and that's perfectly fine. He's bringing back some Shady, might as well bring back all the characters from that era. Um, yeah, a fine skit, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Not blown away, but not upset about it either. Fan service for a fan who is not me, and that's perfectly fine. We're on to the last song, the finale, I suppose. Somebody Save Me. We're gonna rock it. Here. Holy fuck. Holy shit. He made me cry again. He did it. He made me cry twice on this album, bro. Oh my god. So this final song is Eminem. Slim Shady's been euthanized. He's gone. Benny Blanco produced this? I fuck with Benny Blanco. Okay. He put Slim Shady down. He took him out behind the woodshed and took him down. But now he's got to cope with all the problems that came along with the Slim Shady in his head. Um, he missed walking Haley down the aisle, missed the birth of her first child, her first podcast. But he's so proud of how she turned out. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry on stream on camera. I don't want to cry on camera now. He chose drugs. Take that shit out of my mouth. I had a nicotine pouch. He chose drugs over his children, and and he's just lamenting that. And he's shout out to Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is the chorus. I love Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's story is so inspirational to me. But this is Eminem coping with dealing with the fact that his addict behavior hurt the ones that he loves the most, you know? Like he said it multiple times that he does all this shit for his kids to provide a good life for them. And earlier he was talking about how he turned out just like his mom, and now here he is talking about how he failed his children in the same way his mom failed him. And with Jelly Roll on the chorus, man, Jelly Roll got locked up and he turned his whole life around, and now he's trying to turn his life around in the same way. Jelly Roll's inclusion is fucking artistry. It's absolutely beautiful. He's apologizing to Elena. He's apologizing to Nate. Well, he's congratulating Nate and apologizing to him too. He just, God, what the fuck do you want me to do? I've struggled with addiction, and addiction has really hurt a lot of the people in my life. My behavior while I was an addict was not okay, and people I care about, I ended up walking away feeling raw and damaged and with negative opinions of me because of what drugs made me do. And the drugs made him do things that he never wanted to do, and he failed his children in the same way his parents failed him. And that was fucking gorgeous. And I didn't expect to cry twice. I did a fucking Eminem album, but I absolutely did. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Um, do yourself a favor. If you've struggled with addiction, listen to this album all the way through. It's a man coming to grips with. Hold on, let me. This album is a man coming to grips with his own degeneracy. He's coming to grips with who he is and who he was and who he wants to be. Now he's taking on the Dr. Dre role from that one song from the Eminem show, where Dre was trying to convince people to do good things while Slim Shady was trying to tell people to do bad things. Now he's taking on the Dr. Dre role and he's telling people to do good things and to get better and to heal and to be better to those around them because we're only here for so long. And it's fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful, man. Sobriety is a hell of a drug. Sobriety is the number one. It's something to be proud of. And if you're out there and you're struggling, please get sober. Please. It's fucked up what drugs will do to people. And it's fucked up that they're so fucking delicious. Um, no, it's this was a beautiful song. This was a beautiful album. This was a great body of work. I've appreciated Eminem my whole life now. I got really into him in high school. I grew up around. My sister was big into hip hop, so we had the Eminem show and the Marshall Mathers LP in my house. I wasn't allowed to listen to them when I was super young because, much like Eminem has a rule in his house, you're not allowed to cuss. We had a similar rule in mine. Um, this was a gorgeous, gorgeous final song and a gorgeous album. And I looked at Jelly Roll's Twitter, and he literally is over the moon that he's on Eminem's Twitter. He's on Eminem's album. Um, this was an experience. This was a trip. This was beautiful. Slim Shady might be dead, but Eminem lives on. Eminem is such a powerful artist, such a wonderful artist, such a great story. He's overcome so much, and for him to sit here at the end of the album after he's killed the 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 alter ego that kind of made him famous and gave him all the success, and just still pump out a banger like this, man. I just the con like this is a concept album. You got to listen to it all the way through. This isn't you can't listen to this shit on shuffle. The oh my god. So Slim Shady's dead, but Eminem and Marshall Mathers will live on in the hearts of Haley and Nate and Elena and Stevie, whoever that is. Um okay. Um I guess it's his stepson. I don't really know all of his kids' names. It's not really any of my business, but this was a beautiful, beautiful fucking album. I cried twice. Um yeah, this is what hip hop's all about in my estimation. It's telling your story honestly, and it's just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Well, now that I'm in tears, I gotta go. That's the end of the show. Um, please, please, please check out the Death of Slim Shady. This was a beautiful album, a beautiful piece of work. It's getting dark. I gotta go. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please, if you watched to the end, leave a comment below what album I should do next. Leave a like if you liked it. Um, this is going to be really fun to listen back to. Take care of yourself. Make time for your mental health. Get sober. I'm begging you. Bye.